First things first, are you not a part of the Discord channel yet? Then that is absolutely crazy. Go ahead and join my Discord channel, the link is in the description below. Next up, oh my god, we have been getting brand new Avengers game information 2 days in a row, okay, 2 days in a row, and this time we have just got a bunch of new info, which is absolutely ridiculous. Now, have you pre-ordered this game yet? Let me know in the comments below, yes or no. I have for the PlayStation 4, purely just because of the whole early beta access, but let me know if you guys have actually pre-ordered the game. Next up, take a look at this screenshot, okay? This is what I'm gonna leave literally in the back of this video for as long as possible for you to just really absorb it, because it looks absolutely insane. If you like this screenshot, then drop a like on this video right now. It's our first, I guess you can call it, actual action-packed screenshot. That's what we're gonna roll with. I think it looks absolutely insane, and the more you look at it, the more cool things you can find, so just absorb it, okay? That's basically what I'm trying to say. Now, we have got a bunch of awesome information coming directly from Scott Amos, who actually done an interview with PlayStation where it was on the PlayStation podcast. It was like an hour long. If you want to listen to it for the entire hour, I'll link it in the description below. But nonetheless, we have somebody on Reddit who actually decided to break down some of the points as well, which I then broke down even more of the points that I feel are really exciting, that are just going to get you really hyped up for the game, because there's all information regarding the gameplay aspect of this. So let's continue into the video, and don't forget to enter the giveaway that I'm doing with Instant Gaming, by the way. There's literally like less than 24 hours, link below. Now, this is where things get very exciting. So I'm going to go point by point, and I want to start off with the fact that these guys, we know, have invested a lot of time into the gear system and customization, right? Now, the devs have actually confirmed that they have even worked on custom moves and more to deliver options. They worked so hard to make the characters all feel unique and distinct. Now, can I just really elaborate on the fact that they have literally just said the devs have worked on custom moves? I mean, this is very exciting, and I cannot wait to see this hopefully shown off in some gameplay that we will see June 24th. Now, this is where it gets more exciting. So first of all, Scott's favorite gear combination was basically the shrinking tech so far. Yes, you can shrink enemies. Like, this is just, I have to say, this stuff is really hyping me up big time. Now, they did say that apparently seeing Hulk beat up shrunk enemies is hilarious, which you can only imagine. And I mean, even when we were looking at the screenshot, right, that people were saying was Ant-Man, then I guess we kind of confirmed was Black Widow, and the fact that, you know, Kamala Khan was just enlarged. I'm now thinking, can you shrink yourself? Is that a thing you could do? This is going to be interesting to see how this will pan out as well, but I think it's something that is just, it's just a gadget in the game. Shrinking tech, there's not really more you can say about it. It's just one of those goofy things that are going to be really fun to just overuse, I guess, to just literally create great moments. Now also, if you have Iron Man's rockets leveled up all the way, you feel like an absolute, and they crossed out here War Machine and replaced it with Beast. Now, of course, the War Machine Iron Man is something that I personally feel is 100% going to be in the game, but nonetheless, the fact that we, of course, when these rockets are leveled up, we're actually going to see that big significant difference. Now, in terms of the combat, they said that the combat makes the team feel like a strike team, right, with crowd control, with Iron Man, tanking, etc. Now, there are also so many unique powers and skill trees that we of course know do get upgraded with skill points. Now, there are different gears made by different organizations, so such as you'll have like a gear that's made by Stark, for instance, and then you'd have a gear that's made by Pym. Now, if you have a Pym particle gear, and if you're playing as Iron Man, for example, if you've damaged the enemies enough, you'll actually cause them to shrink. There are so many layers to these custom gears, creating compelling gear that just sets that I guess you couldn't have before, alright? And this is very, very exciting. So that actually tells you on how we can damage these people to just simply make them shrink. But again, how many different types of organizations are there going to be? This is just 2 that we know. And again, this is what the breakdown was on this Reddit page. As far as I'm aware, I did scan through this as well, and I couldn't hear any more info on other organizations. So we're just using like Stark and Pym as an instance, or example should I say. Now, in terms of the interface, what they've created for navigating between missions is actually called the War Table, and we know of course the whole War Table, the stream June 24th, that's what they called it. Now, the hero chains / hero missions may not be chronological, so what that basically says, so like let's say we can see what some heroes have been up to in the past. For example, a mission with Black Widow unlocked, I guess, may show a storyline from the past 5 years that will fill in the gaps as to where you are now and tell us more about what they have been up to as an individual. So, and then you'll have like, I guess, some that will also supplement the main storyline. So you've got hero chain missions that are not the same as the main Avengers missions. So basically they are individual storylines for each other that kind of tie into one, if that does make any sense at all. Now, to upgrade your gear, of course, you use resources. Okay, so the resources you find are the things that you basically use to upgrade your gear. Now, they are also implementing a lot of stuff to be unraveled later. Now, there is a ton of Easter eggs. If you notice some stuff from the comics in the missions, perhaps it's an indication to that storyline, and they may expand upon that in the coming months or years as you basically watch it unfold. So it's almost like the game is quite literally going to be working in some type of real-time aspect, if that makes sense. So if you see a like they just use the example here, right, the Easter egg of something, you're like, oh right, okay, is that relating to this and that? And then kaboosh kabam, in like a couple of months or maybe a year to date, that stuff actually happens, right? It actually gets recreated and implemented into the game. So that Easter egg was now an Easter egg that is now an official thing, if that makes sense. So that's where I'm saying it kind of feels like it's working in real time. But boy oh boy, I mean, if this is not hyping you guys up right now, if you are not sold, okay, right now, I don't know what's going to sell you. Now, once the campaign is over, there are other things to investigate apparently. Now, this is kind of unclear as it was stated on this Reddit post, but he does not want to get into that yet, of course because of spoilers and so forth, but they just want people to sit and enjoy what they've created so far. I guess once the campaign is over is always a big fear on, I guess, how many people are still going to be playing the game, but we know this is a game that's meant to last for a long time, and it's safe to say that there's just going to be a bunch of things to do after that. Now, going back to the whole hero chain stuff, so hero chains will have specific costumes and gears that only you can earn if you play through them. So it's not anything tied in with the microtransactions basically, okay? So it's basically that you can only earn if you play through them. It's literally as simple as that. Now, this goes for all the heroes as well. If you were worried about the microtransactions, I'd probably say that kind of clears that up. Now, the multiplayer missions also have stories in them as well, which is really, really great to know. So it all does play into each other, and every character has their flaws and humanity, which again makes it great for people to actually play them, and you kind of get a different sense with each type of character. Now, the final few things get really interesting. So first of all, you can discover collectibles people left around throughout the world which contain lore information. Now, it's like a news report from a trial that happened after A-Day, or what happened to Maria Hill and S.H.I.E.L.D. So kind of like, I guess if you want to compare it to anything, to give you an example that I feel most people will be able to relate to, would be the newspaper maybes in Spider-Man PS4. Probably something along those lines. That's kind of how that's going to be working. Now, we already know it's confirmed we'll be getting way more heroes and more villains post-launch at no extra cost, and he did state that he's just very excited about sharing it all. Again, whether or not this is going to come on June 24th, we don't know, but I don't really mind. I mean, just confirming that is way more enough for me. He also does say he is super excited to share even more stuff in the next week, so people can of course see what the team have been working on, and that fact that the devs are committed to the game itself and are very passionate about the game, which we already know, and to reconfirm they never lost focus and they are taking the time to make this whole thing work. There's definitely not going to be another delay. They're right on track for, of course, September, and what's actually really interesting is they did did state that they do keep looking at comics and thinking, you know, hey, would this be cool to add? And then they just go ahead and do it. So they live and breathe this stuff daily and are super excited to share it with the rest of the world. Now, again, like I said, there's a bunch more information on this Reddit post, which is by a really cool dude who went ahead and broke it down. So I will link the original post in the description below. But the other kind of, I guess, those small details that didn't actually, I guess, grab my attention straight away was more, I guess, the fact that it's interesting enough that they want to shake up the whole superhero genre a little, and that's why the beginning of the game, of course, doesn't go quite as planned and as it should, and that, of course, results in the loss of Captain America and the superheroes getting outlawed. But they did also state that AIM is actually super fun for them, and they feel like they themselves are the heroes, actually, so more than an enemy. Now, the Terrigen acts as a form of clean energy, and after A-Day, they step in to show the world, you know, that hey, using science can actually save humanity. So, I mean, it's getting exciting. Things are really looking to shape up well for this game, and I cannot wait to see what we see in the next couple of days, maybe weeks, or just June 24th, right? You guys leave your thoughts on that in the comments below. That's going to wrap up this video here. As always, subscribe for more awesome content if you have not already. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.